All right. Welcome to the 22nd episode of the SlashMMR podcast, where we're back again once more. It's currently February 2025. I already mentioned it last month, but yeah, we're in 2025, and it's still kind of crazy to comprehend. The fact that we're already 1 month deep as well. It's really going fast, man. The time is flying by, but like I said, man, we're already back here again, another month into the year of February. So, like I said, it's going fast, but yeah, we're still out here, man, doing our thing, of course. Yeah, 2026 is going to come soon, man. It's going to be there before you know it. Anyways, we got a couple things to discuss this month. First things first, the thing that happened most recently at the time of recording, the Super Bowl, okay, happened last night for me. Of course, I'm not American, I'm European, so I'm not really that involved with the Super Bowl. Like, I've never watched an NFL match, and this is like the first time I've actually like kind of watched it like sort of live. Someone was streaming it in Discord, so I just watched because I wanted to see the halftime show. It was at like 1 a.m. for me. So, of course, the halftime show, Kendrick Lamar, a pretty huge event. It's like the biggest stage in the world, probably. I'm pretty sure. I mean, of course, a lot of times when the Super Bowl comes around, people always compare it to, normal football, which some may call soccer, but I just say it football. The Football World Cup has far more viewers than the Super Bowl, although there's not really a halftime show or something, so I do think that the after show is like the biggest stage still. So yeah, if you're gonna have a show, that's kind of like the highest place you can take it in terms of that. And of course, Kendrick Lamar also did it a couple years ago, like 2 years ago in 2022, I think. Either way, now we had the Super Bowl 59, or I think it's LIX, the official term for it. So yeah, I watched it live. Honestly, at first I wasn't really super impressed. By the first half, after SZA came in, because SZA was actually a special guest as well, because her and Kendrick did some songs together and they performed some of them as well. I thought whenever SZA also came in and did her performances, I thought that was pretty good, but I was really impressed by the first part. Like the second half, like I said, with SZA and also with Not Like Us, that song, I thought it was really good. But yeah, the first part I wasn't really too impressed by until I rewatched it. I actually just rewatched it like an hour ago on YouTube. I thought it was actually pretty good, man. Like I wasn't liking it that much at first, but now actually, yeah, I think it's really great. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well because I mean that's like the biggest event like of the year almost. I mean it is early in the year, so many people already will forget about it by the time that the year ends. But it really is a huge moment, of course. Having Kendrick Lamar in his solo, that is, of course, with SZA though. But of course he did do most of the work there. It's very impressive. And it was a great show, man. I really thought it was really good. I give like an 8.5 to 9 out of 10. Yeah, of course the beef with Drake, man. We're all familiar with that. It's still it's died down a couple months ago, of course, but he still did play Not Like Us and also a couple more diss songs as well. So he did mention Drake as well in this performance, which is kind of funny. At the moment, he was like in Not Like Us, of course, there's a lyric which is like, "Say Drake, I heard that you like him young," and he at that line he was smiling at the camera, so that was just really funny to see. So he definitely did have a great performance. I also thought that everything else that was happening was pretty great within the show itself. It wasn't really any crazy stage or something. I mean, usually it's like huge blowouts or something, or you're like fucking fire, flames, fireworks. But it was kind of chill, but it was still really cool though. So I definitely thought it was a really great performance. And now the Super Bowl itself, like I said, I never seen an NFL game, so this was like the first time that actually I kind of watched like a tiny bit of it, and actually kind of followed it. So it was the Chiefs versus the Eagles, and of course these are kind of two evils, okay, within the internet, because of course on one side the Eagles, if you guys are familiar with EDP445, the notorious Cupcake Man, of course a big YouTuber a few years ago, but then got caught, being a pedophile. He was a huge Eagles fan. Okay, so last year I think the Eagles were also in the finals, and everyone wanted them to lose, just because EDP was a fan of them. So this year that of course also held up, but the other evil on the Chiefs side is of course Taylor Swift. Of course, now some people might be a fan of hers, but a lot of people think she's annoying. And like I said, I don't follow the NFL, but I've heard that throughout the season there's been a lot of complaining about Taylor Swift, that she's been like at the Chiefs games, and that everything is about her. Like the cameras keep going to her and stuff. People just find her annoying. So it was kind of two evils at this moment. You had Taylor Swift versus EDP, kind of their teams going against each other. And honestly, I was for the Eagles, man, at that point, because I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan, so I didn't really want to see her win, honestly. So I did hope the Eagles would win because I just thought it would be funnier. But a lot of people thought it was going to be scripted. Of course, they were saying like, oh, it's already scripted. Like the Chiefs are going to win because Taylor Swift is supporting them. But no, it did not happen. It was actually quite a generational match at some point. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with NFL, so I don't really know how the scores work and stuff. But I think the final score was like 44-22. Let me see, Super Bowl. Yeah, 40-22 for the Eagles. And at some point, it was like 34-0, I think. And people were saying like, "Oh, this is insane!" Like the Chiefs were playing a really bad game. Now they did make kind of a comeback, but still lost pretty badly. But yeah, at some point, it was literally like 34-0, which apparently it's never been done before. So a team loses with 0 points. At least that's what some people said. Right? Don't quote me on that, but it would have been really a generational win if that actually happened. If they didn't get any points. So it was looking like that they wouldn't get any points, but then eventually they did get 22. I didn't really follow the game itself. I watched like a tiny bit. But I was really just there for the halftime performance, like I think most people were. Because the funny thing about Super Bowl is more people watch the halftime performance than the game itself. So that's also just a funny thing to note. So yeah, I thought it was interesting for sure. NFL, the whole American football thing. I still really don't care for it. Like I said, I was there for the halftime show. I watched a bit of it. I thought it was pretty boring. Like I don't really care that much for it, but it was still fun to watch though. And of course, the halftime performance with all the Drake references as well. I don't think Drake was too happy about that. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar of course did have to censor some words. He couldn't say the word pedophile, but he did say I heard you like him young, which is also kind of crazy because like I said, it's the biggest stage in the world, and he's just like saying these things to Drake. On one of the biggest songs in the world at this moment. So. I mean, it's just this whole beef has just been a huge L for Drake, and he's still taking punches, man. He's still taking punches, and yeah, he's probably really upset about this too. Even though he won't show it, of course, but I think we all know deep down that how he's feeling about this. So yeah, Drake, man. Hopefully he's doing well, recovering from all this. He's actually dropping a new album in 4 days on Valentine's Day. So I'm excited to see what he has to say on that. Maybe he'll throw some shots back, or maybe he's finally gonna put it to rest because. There's still an ongoing lawsuit, by the way. I spoke with this a few episodes ago that Drake actually sued UMG, his own music label that Kendrick Lamar's also on, saying that they were boosting Kendrick Lamar's song "Not Like Us" and trying to destroy Drake's image, etc. Which it still has not been proven. I don't really know how that ended up holding up in court. I think it's still an ongoing case, but that was just a really bad lawsuit. It was just sad, honestly. It was just sad, brother. I mean, he lost the beef, and then his response is to, literally make a lawsuit and say like, oh, like they boosted the song like artificially, like they didn't, they boosted the streams, they faked streams, and he also claimed that they what's it called? That they paid influencers, so React YouTubers and stuff, to react to the song and like speak good about Kendrick Lamar, etc. Which of course is just outrageous. I mean, it's really UMG has already stated like we did not do any of that, bro. Like this is an outrageous claim, but it's still an ongoing lawsuit, bro. So he's just taking more punch to the stomach right now. And also, this whole event was like hosted by Apple Music. It was like Apple Music's halftime show. So I think Drake could beef with them too now. I mean, it's kind of funny because he is on Apple Music himself as well, of course, and people streaming him there. But yeah, he's getting paid from Apple Music, of course, as well for that. But he still has Apple Music just funding and organizing this whole like diss show against him, which is just kind of outrageous. So I thought it was kind of funny too to mention. But yeah, Kendrick Lamar has been on a generational run, of course. And like I said, with the halftime show, SZA was also a great feature on it. It's a really good, nice performances as well. They did Luther, which is like the one of the most popular songs right now. And we also had Samuel L. Jackson as well, which was kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Also, I don't know if anyone's ever done the Super Bowl multiple times before, like the halftime show, because of course Kendrick Lamar was also in it 2 years ago, in 2022 with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and 50 Cent, etc. So I don't know if this has ever been done before, especially in such a short time span, because it's literally been 2 years and I was already back on stage again. So shout out to him for making history, I guess. And of course, there's been a lot of great Super Bowl performances over the years. I looked at a few of them. Of course, I've been following them for a few years now, like actively, but I haven't really looked at the old ones that much. I mean, of course, we know Michael Jackson. That's like probably like the most iconic performance of all time. Just anything at all, not just Super Bowl. So that's probably ranked like the number one for that. But I might do a tier list of them, bro, or just like a ranking. Not right now, but maybe next year, because next year will be the 60th. So if I just do it like a ranking of all of them, maybe I'll do that, bro. That seems fun. But that's really all I'd say about Super Bowl, though. Like I said, the game was pretty good. I think. Like I said, I didn't really watch it, but it seemed decent. As well as, of course, the halftime show was pretty great to watch. So I just want to mention that. Now, moving on to the Super Bowl. Moving on from Super Bowl. We're gonna hang in there for a little bit though, because I want to talk about Kanye West, who, for those who know, he's been having a wild crash out on Twitter, which finally is over, by the way. It lasted like 3 full days of him just tweeting outrageous stuff. But he bought an ad in the Super Bowl as well, which he also did last year. And the ad was super low quality. It was just him laying in like a chair or something, just laying upside down. And he was saying like, "Oh, I spent all the ad money on the ad itself," because Super Bowl ads are no joke, bro. They're like $8 million, I think, this year. So $8 million per ad. So he was just saying like, "Oh, I spent all the money on the ad itself, so I can't make a video now." So he literally just records himself on his iPhone, like talking to the camera for like 30 seconds, and he just says, "Go to Yeezy.com," which is his website for merch, etc. So that's what he did last year too. But now he did it again. But yeah, this is also in the middle of his, insane crash out on Twitter, which basically it started on the 7th, I think, and it ended like 12 hours ago. So it was literally like 3 whole days of him just being on Twitter and tweeting absolutely outrageous things. And I'm going to assume most of you have probably already seen something about it, but it was very bad, okay? I mean, of course, we all know Kanye West has been controversial over the last few years, especially after his appearance on Alex Jones, which is already like 2.5 years ago at this point. I think it was in 2022, where he basically said that he thought Hitler was pretty decent, a decent guy, and also he said that he was a Nazi, which was kind of, of course, out of pocket, but that was kind of an in the moment thing, all right? Like people kind of moved on from that at this point. I mean, a lot of people hate him for that, and a lot of people don't see him the same, but it was kind of like, it's like, oh, it's a while ago, and he said it like one time. A lot of people kind of forgot about it, kind of just wrote it off, but Kanye made it kind of impossible to write off this time, because he went, like I said, on a 3-day long Twitter rant where he just like, sometimes he took like a nap for like a few hours and he just came back and started tweeting again. He made hundreds of tweets and they were all crazy, and he was saying a lot of things about Jews. Okay, like he really hates Jews for some reason. And he was saying a lot of outrageous things also about Hitler, and he once again repeated that he is a Nazi. Okay, he literally made a tweet saying that he is a Nazi, and he also said that Hitler was fresh. Which is kind of an odd thing to say. But yeah, like I said, bro, he went on for like 3 days just doing all sorts of stuff in that area. He also said that he hates rappers and he hates rap music and things along those lines. So he just started going in, man. It was an insane crash out, and I was there for it, man. I mean, I wasn't there at the exact beginning, but I was there very fast. I was just checking his page like every few minutes, and there was just going to be like 5 new tweets saying outrageous things. So once again, a lot of Jew talk, a lot of mostly negative Jew talk. So he really hates the Jews for some reason. I don't know what they did to him, but he says that they're controlling him, they're controlling the industry. Now, those are things that I've heard other people say too. How much of that is true, I don't really know. But apparently, according to him, they hold really great power and apparently can pull off many things. So once again, bro, it's kind of crazy the things that he's spewing out there, but I mean, there has to be some truth in it, man. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, though, I'm not really about racism or being a Nazi. That's kind of like out of pocket. But it's interesting though all he had to say. I mean, if you really like read all of those things, you're gonna take a few hours to read all those tweets. But apart from all the Jew hate and just random tweets about Jews, he also made some other tweets which were just funny. He said at one point he tweeted out for no reason. He tweeted, "I turned down 3 Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs this week." Like, bro, what the fuck? I read that and I was like, what the fuck? That was just so out of pocket. And that went viral. He went viral like 20 times in like one day. It's completely insane shit. So bro, like, why would you even publicly state that you turned down Make-A-Wish kids, right? I mean, these are children who are like terminally ill, and their last wish in their life is to meet you. And first of all, you're gonna turn them down. I mean, okay, it's kind of crazy though to be like in a position where people's last wish on earth is to meet you. That's kind of wild. Okay, I mean that's a whole lot of weight as well. And of course, he has a life himself. He can't just be doing that every week. So if he turns them down sometimes, I mean, you can at least do it sometimes, right? But if you can't make it sometimes, you turn them down. I mean, it happens, all right? I mean, you can't be expected to do all this stuff, but to then publicly tweet about it and like act like proud of it or something. I mean, it was just so out of pocket, bro. Like it made no sense. Just I turned down 3 Make-A-Wish kids in wheelchairs this week. Like also just this week, not even like all time, just this week alone. Like he's keeping track every week of how much he turns down. It's kind of crazy, man. That was just a really sad tweet, but also just like extremely funny because it was so random. And he made a couple of wild things like that. He just said like a bunch of wild stuff, and he also said that he hates fat people and fat women especially. He said that fat women sexually offend him or some shit, and that he hates fat people. So he basically said a lot of things about fat people too. And then the crazy thing is, this other rapper, RXK Nephew, he tweeted, he quote tweeted it, and he said like, "Bro, wasn't your mom fat too?" Because that is literally the reason that his mom died. His mom was actually like, I mean, I wouldn't say she was really fat, but not skinny either, and she actually got like a weight loss surgery, which ended up, resulting in her death. Yeah, that's kind of an insane thing to say, to bring up, because a lot of people were bringing up his mom, of course, because his mom, if you guys don't know the Kanye West lore, his mom was very supportive in the beginning of his career, and it was really a big motivation for him to start doing what he did, and of course get to the point where he is today. But yeah, of course, his mom died in like 2008, I think, which really led him down a dark path. But a lot of people were bringing it up, like, bro, like your mom would not be proud of you right now, of course, especially with all the Nazi and Jew tweets. Like, I don't think his mom would really be appreciative of that, but yeah, a lot of people were mentioning that as well. But yeah, just him saying, like, RXK Nephew saying, like, bro, wasn't your mom fat? It's like kind of crazy, bro. But there's some truth to it, though. I mean, Kanye was saying some wild things which just did not align, with his mom's views at all. So maybe he should, like, sit back and, think about what his mom would have wanted him to do in this position and how she feels about, how she would have felt about what he's saying right now. Because, I mean, she really was important to him. So, it is kind of wild that he's spiraled down this path, because it's definitely not something that she would have stood for. She was a really great lady from all I've seen from her, all the clips and stuff, and all I've read about her. So some crazy stuff. And at some point, okay, I mean, we were like, at this point, we're like 50 hours into the crash out. Like I said, he literally tweeted for 3 days straight, like 70 hours straight. He was just tweeting. And at this point, we're like 50 hours in or something, and he just randomly starts posting porn, right? He starts posting like 12 different porn clips. It's like absolutely just randomly. He said like, this is my favorite porn video of all time. He posted like 10 different clips of it. Completely out of pocket, bro. Like, what the fuck is even going on anymore at that point? So that was really wild as well. And then he just kept going. He just kept tweeting. A bunch of random shit, bro. And he was calling people broke. He also like replied to a bunch of a few fans. There's like this subreddit, the Good Ass Sub, it's called. It also has a Twitter account and also a Discord service, like basically like the biggest like Kanye West like fan thing, and he also interacted with that a few times. So those are kind of funny things to see. Also a bunch of sad stuff as well. I mean, of course, the Nazi stuff is not to be joked about, but some of the tweets were just like fucking hilarious, bro, and just so random. Like it was insane and completely out of pocket. But that's also a crazy thing though, because when we're talking about free speech, I mean, where do you draw the line? Of course, I mean, these things would not be possible 3 years ago, okay? Like, Kanye West would have been deactivated, banned within, like, a few hours. I mean, he even posted swastikas, which, of course, was the symbol for, like, the Nazis back in World War II, the swastika. So he even posted about that. He posted pictures of that a few times. So, yeah, I mean, where does free speech end, bro? I mean, it's basically endless, I guess, because Elon Musk didn't take any action. Well, the only action he took was unfollow him. Elon Musk unfollowed Kanye West, so that's what happened, but aside from that, he was just allowed to say anything he wants. Like, he can just say anything. He was just talking about Hitler, liking Hitler, being a Nazi, hating Jews. He spoke about it like for hours, literal days straight, and no action taken at all. I mean, if he did that on Instagram, he would have definitely gotten banned by that point, at some point. But yeah, on X, it's free, bro. It's free game. Like, anyone can just say what they want, apparently, and just not face any repercussion. And that's also the problem with Kanye at this moment, because, of course, these things he's saying are all super hateful and outrageous, of course. But yeah, he's a self-made billionaire, okay? When he said these things, when he said he's a Nazi in 2022, he lost his deal with Adidas. He lost a bunch of sponsorships, partnerships. I mean, he lost a bunch of things, and his net worth like tumbled down quite far. But now he's built himself back up again. He was worth around like 8 billion, I think, at some point at his peak. And then he went out to like 400 million whenever all that drama happened. But now he's back at like 2.7 billion. And that's just all by himself. So he can say whatever, and he can't really be canceled because he built this by himself. He has his own clothing brand, his own music, of course, catalog, which is worth a lot, and he just does everything by himself, and he's just basically set for life. I mean, his next like 20 generations are gonna be good. So he really has nothing to care about, and no one can cancel him. No one can cancel a deal with him or something. And there's still people that want to collaborate with him, like Ty Dolla $ign, for example, who actually he dropped a song with Kanye West like on the same day that the crash had started, which was, by the way, it was a fire song. I really liked it. It was called "Wheels Fall Off." Really great. Yeah. So he definitely still has collaborators, but at this point, no one can take anything away from him, and that may be the issue. I mean, like I said, free speech is great, but I don't think people should, be Nazis. I think that's kind of taken it a bit too far, especially with all the Jew hate as well. Like, it definitely went too far, man. Posting swastikas and stuff. Swastikas, like, it really got out of hand at some point. But yeah, like I said, free speech, like, it's allowed on X now, formerly known as Twitter. And yeah, like I said, Kanye West, like, let's say if Tyler the Creator did this or something, right? He's gonna get canceled really hard. His fans are gonna turn on him. He's gonna lose a bunch of deals and stuff, etc. Kanye West has already been banned from a lot of things, so he doesn't even care about that anymore. But he's not gonna. He doesn't lose anything. He literally has nothing to lose. He has everything built himself, and he's basically like immortal at that point. He's literally a self-made billionaire who he can't lose money, and people are still gonna buy his clothes. Like, the sales went up on his website, which, by the way, like I said in the beginning, he made a Superbowl ad for his website, right? And the funny thing is, well, it's not even that funny. It's kind of sad. A couple hours after that, of course, when he first launched the ad, his whole website was, of course, it was filled with clothes, right? Because he wants people to buy his clothes. So that was right at the Superbowl ad. But then a couple hours after, he removed all his clothes off the website, and there's currently only one piece of clothing remaining, which is literally just a white T-shirt with the swastika on it. Like, he's selling Nazi merch. Like, what the fuck? It's actually insane, bro. So I don't know how he's getting away with this. I don't know in how far that's even legal. Can you really just sell swastikas as merch? Apparently you can, because he's doing it. But at some point, there's got to be some legal boundaries, right? I don't know how far he can take it, but he really has the whole world in the palm of his hands. He can do whatever he wants, and he can say whatever he wants. He was also thanking Elon Musk for allowing him to vent, which is kind of a crazy way to put it. Because he didn't get any censorship at all. And yeah, like I said, after the 3 days, you might wonder, like, how did it end? Well, he just eventually, like, he basically said, like, right, this is enough. Basically, I'm done. Thanks, Elon, for allowing me to vent on this platform. And then he deactivated his account, so it's not active anymore currently. Which, is an insane run of events. Like I said, it was literally 3 days straight, bro. Like, you would just wake up, and he was still going. You would, like, check an hour later, he's still going. He would be offline for a few hours to take a nap, and then he would be back on and still go. And it went on like that for 3 days until he eventually deactivated his account. And then a few hours after that, we got the Super Bowl ad, of course. And then he also posted a video saying that the Kendrick Lamar halftime show is like one of the best shows he's seen since Michael Jackson. So he really liked that performance. But yeah, it's insane, bro. How much people are really still riding with him after this? You also have Travis Scott, which is like one of the biggest Kanye West fans. They've collaborated a lot before in the past. He even unfollowed him on Twitter now. So he's definitely still losing some people. But like I said, man, he's a self-made billionaire. Okay, like, he really has nothing to lose. He doesn't really care anymore. He's just doing what he wants. And on the topic of Kanye West and him doing what he wants, we got to talk about those Grammys, bro. The Grammys this year, they were kind of crazy. First of all, because of Kanye West as well. Bro, he basically pulled up with his wife, and his wife literally was wearing no clothes. Okay, she was wearing like this little see-through thing, which is basically she was basically naked. Okay, and that was like at the red carpet, and they were like, of course, at the red carpet you like pose and you can take pictures, or people take pictures of you, of celebrities, of course, that pull up. So Kanye West was there, and his wife was like wearing like this fur coat at first, but then she eventually took it off, and she really was just wearing nothing. Okay, you could literally see everything. It was like just some see-through thing. It wasn't even, I don't even know if it was a dress or not. She basically was wearing some see-through thing, and you could literally see everything, bro, like in detail. Okay, there was like no censorship at all. She was practically naked. And like I said, how is that even legal, bro? Like, he's really pushing the boundaries here, because that's literally just, at that point, just public nudity. There's children there, bro. There's children watching the Grammys, seeing this news. His wife was literally just there naked, bro. Like, it was insane. And apparently she got Googled more than the Grammys itself. So, of course, people look up the Grammys. But his wife's name got Googled more. So he kept flexing that as well. He kept posting on stories like, my wife is the most Googled person on earth. It's kind of wild, bro. But yeah, those were the Grammys, at least from Kanye West then. After that, of course, we also had different sort of stuff for the Grammys, which I didn't really follow that much. Um, Going back to Kendrick Lamar as well, he won 5 Grammys for Not Like Us, which is kind of crazy. 5 Grammys for one song. Like, that's kind of insane, bro. He won like Record of the Year, like Song of the Year, which I don't even know what the difference between those categories are, but he also won like Best Rap Performance, like Best Music Video, I think, and one more thing. Which, of course, really, really great from him. Also, it's because it's a diss track as well. It's like the first time that a diss track won any awards, I think, and then 5 at the same time. It's really crazy. And that also got me thinking. I mean, he won 5 in one night. What is really like, what is the record for that? And apparently the record is 8 Grammys in one night. And that was held by Michael Jackson in 1983 when he dropped Thriller, I think then. And also by some guy named Santana in like the year 2000. They both tied for first place with 8 in one night. And of course, Kendrick Lamar, he got a 5 with one song, okay? Like, these people dropped albums and got 8 for it. And he got 5 for one song. Now, of course, Kendrick Lamar also did drop an album in this year, but it was actually dropped after the Grammy cutoff. So, like, Grammys, you can only, like, submit albums that were made, like, before September, I think. And anything after, like, September or October, like, it gets moved into the next year. So, his album wasn't nominated for anything because it was too late. But I think that's kind of a stupid rule, too. But imagine if his album actually did drop before the cutoff. I feel like he could have maybe won, like, 8 or 9 Grammys, bro. Like, honestly, I feel like the thing with rap is as well, of course, he's a rapper, so rap usually isn't really nominated that well in, like, the main categories, like when it comes to, like, album of the year or something. Of course, you have rap album of the year, but the main category for album of the year, rap really rarely gets any recognition in that. I think it's been like 20 years at this point since a rap album even won that to begin with, which was, I think it was the Speaker Box / Love Below, I think that album's called, from Outkast. That won a Grammy in like 2003, I think, or 2004. I'm not sure what the year was. But that's the last time that a rap album won Album of the Year at the Grammys, which is, of course, ages ago. But I really feel like Kendrick Lamar with GNX had a really, really strong year, and he really could have won that, honestly. And now, of course, we're going to have to wait a whole new year. He's probably going to win Rap Album of the Year, though, next year then. Because, of course, like I said, the cutoff, these months that are cut off, they're moving on to next year. So he's going to be in the Grammys for next year for that then. He's definitely going to get nominated. If he's going to win, I'm not sure, because Tyler, the Creator, also had a very strong album, which also dropped before the cutoff. I mean, after the cutoff, I mean. So that's also going to be next year, probably. But yeah, I really feel like that definitely would have been nominated for Album of the Year, which Album of the Year this year had 0 rap nominations. It was just all other stuff. So yeah, I really wonder, in a universe where Kendrick dropped that before the cutoff, would he have won Album of the Year for the first time, a hip-hop album in like 20 years? And would he have gotten those 8 Grammys or even more to beat the record? I mean, that's kind of crazy, bro, to think about. I really feel like he could have done it, but I guess we'll never know at this point. I didn't really follow the Grammys aside from that. I did know that Charlie XCX won Album of the Year, which honestly, considering the nomination, was a pretty good pick. I definitely thought that, her album, Brad, was like a top 3 album of the year. Personally, my favorite was Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay, which wasn't nominated. It was kind of more low-key, but it's a really good album. I thought that was my album of the year, but Brad's definitely like a top 3 for me. Really great project. So definitely deserved to win Album of the Year, of course. Charlie XCX has been putting in work for a long time. She's finally getting the recognition she deserves, as well on the remixes as well. She dropped a lot of music last year, bro. So, I mean, when it comes to Artist of the Year, I'm not sure who won that, if it's even a category, but I really feel like she deserved that as well. Let me see. Is that even a thing? Yeah, I don't think that's a thing. I don't think there's an Artist of the Year category. But I think indeed, yeah. Album of the Year was Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. Wait, it wasn't Brad? Huh? Yo, wait, what? I'm tripping, bro. No, okay, but my bad. No, Brad won like Best Electronic Album of the Year, I think. Yo, I thought that Brad won the full Album of the Year. Nah, I'm tripping, bro. Yo, my bad, bro. No, it's actually Beyonce. Yo, what did Brad win then? I swear she won something though, but she was nominated, I think. So yeah, she was nominated. And also, Andre 3000 was also nominated, but not for a rap album. It was for his flute album, New Blue Sun. But I think she won electronic then. Let me look it up. Did Brad win electronic album of the year, like electronic or dance or some shit then? Yeah, best dance electronic album. Yeah. Okay, no, my bad. I got it confused. I thought that that she won the main thing, but apparently not. So that's okay. My bad. So she won Best Dancer's Electronic Album, so at least she won some kind of reward for it. Although I think she definitely deserves the full Album of the Year thing then. Although Cowboy Carter by Beyonce was also definitely deserving. I think it was a really good project too. And the thing is that Beyonce, up to this point, has never actually won Album of the Year yet. But she is the person with the most Grammy wins. And I'm pretty sure Kendrick Lamar is now like tied for like the second most Grammy Award wins for a rapper. I'm pretty sure he has like 22 total now. And I think Jay-Z is like 25 or something. And he's like the highest. But yeah, okay. So Brad won Best Dancer's Electronic Album of the Year. And Cowboy Carter won Best Album of the Year. Okay, so that makes sense then. So yeah, a lot of people thought it was overrated. Of course, Cowboy Carter. I mean, that happens every year. Right? Every year, some people are going to be upset at the winner. There's nothing really you can do about that. But the funny thing is that it also won Country Album of the Year. I'm pretty sure, and there was also a lot of controversy about that because people don't really think it was that country. People really thought there was going to be a better pick for that. But she also did win that, so haters are going to hate, I guess. But the Grammys speak for themselves. I mean, of course, it's kind of a it's not to be taken that seriously, the Grammys, but it's still cool to see people win, though, of course. It's definitely a huge moment. And, of course, for someone to achieve that is great for them. So, yeah, Cowboy Carter Album of the Year. Honestly, I didn't even listen to the full thing. I did listen to it a bit, though, so it was definitely a decent album. But, yeah, Album of the Year, I'm not sure. I definitely would have preferred to see Brad in that position, but at least she won something. Charlie XCX definitely deserved that. But, yeah, not the main Album of the Year then. Anyways, then, next up, I want to talk about the biggest meme of 2025 so far. Also one of the crazy memes of all time, probably. We gotta talk about the Goonicide, bro. It feels funny even saying it, bro. Like I just need to talk about this. In the beginning of this month, man, we already started off the year with some great memes. We got the chopped chin, as well as some other stuff. But nothing beats the Goonicide. Okay, like this is a crazy event that I can't even believe is like a real term now. So it's basically the meme is basically this random guy. His real name is Nautica Malone, and this guy just like full lore on him now. There's like backstories. Everyone knows who this guy is. And it's basically the story is that apparently there's a drive-through bikini cafe in Arizona, which I never heard of that term before. Apparently this exists, like bikini cafes, where basically the ladies will just be in bikinis and just serving you. Which I mean, that's kind of fire, but I never heard of that before. I didn't know that existed. I mean, I know Hooters, of course, which is a different type of thing, but apparently there's also bikini cafes. Either way, there was this man, Nautica Malone, who was apparently, a big fan, and maybe a little bit too big of a fan, to the point where he would, pull up in his car to that place and just start, jerking off in his car at the drive-through. So basically, just looking at the staff there and just pulling his dick out in his car and just fucking jacking that shit. So yeah, apparently he did that a few times, and at one point he got caught on camera. So basically, one of the ladies walked up to him, recording him in his car. And at first, the interaction is very sweet. He's just like, "Oh, someone's pulling up to me. Hey, what's up?" He had like a smile on his face, and then he noticed the camera, and this is where it gets wild. His smile fades away, his smile disappears, and he instantly drives off. And that's basically just the meme, bro. Like, it's literally just him looking at the camera, like smiling, and then he notices the camera, and that it's being recorded. And then, he instantly pulls off. And you could also kind of see his hand, like, in that area, in that video. So it's definitely a suspicious video, bro. But yeah, you don't see anything explicit, but that is the meme, bro. It's literally, that is the meme. And, you might wonder, why is it called the Goonicide? Well, because it's kind of sad, but it's so funny, bro. Like, the meme is insane. This guy actually he killed himself. Okay, basically a couple of days after, and of course when you kill yourself, that's officially called a suicide. But due to this event of him, basically, he was gooning at the drive-through. People refer to this incident as a goonicide, which is basically just a term for the meme now. So yeah, because he was gooning and then he killed himself, because of that, it's now a goonicide. It's officially now a new term. I'm gonna bet that it's gonna be Oxford's Word of the Year. Of course, they do Word of the Years every year. I think it's Oxford, some different university. I'm pretty sure last year was like Riz or something. And the year before there was also some stupid shit. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna put my bets on that this year the Word of the Year will be the Goonicide. So yeah, that's definitely the biggest meme so far. I mean, there's been hella AI videos as well. because this completely blew out of proportion, bro. Like these people, of course, of the bikini cafe, they posted the video on their social media. Like, bro, this guy's a creep. Who the fuck is this? You know, like, get this guy arrested or something. Because of course, I mean, if you're gonna be jerking off to random people on the street, you know, while you're sitting in your car, that's not really legal. You know, so of course, we're gonna get the cops involved. And I mean, he was just not having it. I mean, this is officially also referred to as the Bikini Beans Coffee Incident. I mean, there's a whole Wikipedia page about it that I have in front of me right now. If you look up Nautica Malone, or just the Goonicide Wikipedia, you're gonna find a wild page with the information. So yeah, apparently he's also better known as the Goon Lord now, which is it's just a crazy legacy to leave behind, bro. Like this really just could have all went by much smoother, but yeah, people found out a lot of things about him. He apparently also has a wife and children, which makes it even crazier. And yeah, like I said, he literally killed himself a few days after, and he apparently also left a suicide note, which literally it read, "I apologize." He left this note for his wife on his phone. He said, "I apologize. I love you, Queen. I made a mistake, and I don't think I'll be able to face you and the babies. I don't know why I drove through like that. My mental has been fucked up. I'm not a monster. I apologize and love you forever. If I am in critical condition, please pull the plug. To all my family and friends, I love you, and I'm so sorry. I love my kids and family. Please forgive me." So a very sad story, of course. You know, I don't know what was going on through this man's head, but he did seem like a nice guy in that video, of course. Like I said, in the first half, he's smiling. He's like someone pulling up to him. And then he notices the camera and his smile just fades and he just drives away. And that's basically the meme, bro. Like, it's just this whole event. It's just crazy to think about. I mean, of course, he of course pulls up and just does that stuff and he gets caught and then he just drives away like that and he just kills himself. It's a fucking crazy event, bro. And, you know, for it to be named the Goonicide, I don't know who came up with that term, but it's actually one of the craziest words I've ever heard. This whole meme is just like absolutely diabolical, and it's massive, bro. Like, it's huge. A lot of people are talking about it and still sharing this meme. And he's been putting a lot of AI videos now. Like other memes are getting replaced with this one, but then with an AI version of him. Like it's absolutely crazy. And the story doesn't end there. His family also confronted the coffee shop on the night of his death and accused him of being responsible for his death. So there's a lot of more lore behind that. And even the Bikini Beans coffee shop, they also spoke out about this on Twitter, saying that our thoughts and prayers are with the individual involved during this difficult time. This was an unfortunate and tragic situation. As a company, the safety of our employees is always our top priority. In this case, an individual chose to commit a crime at one of our locations. We take incidents like this very seriously and remain committed to protecting our team and maintaining a safe and respectful environment. Thank you for your continued support. So yeah, of course, I mean, that guy just pulled up and he committed a crime, okay? Like, it's not really the fault of this, bikini cafe. Although, maybe they could have just reported it to the police instead of posting it online. Because, I mean, online, some things can go super viral. I mean, this is like the most viral thing of this year so far. And it's still huge. I mean, people mention this a lot. And I really feel like that the word Goonicide is going to live on forever, bro. Like, this is like just a new term that's really going to be used unironically. And it's just, I think it's a great meme. Of course, it's a really tragic event at the end of the day, but also like just extremely insane and just funny, bro. Like the word Goonicide is like my favorite word right now. And just the whole lore and the whole, like, just the idea behind it is just insane. So yeah, like I said, people found a lot of things about him. I mean, I don't even know how. I mean, they even know his birth date. I mean, here's like the background on the Wikipedia. Malone was born on September 23rd, 1997 in Charleston, West Virginia. He showed early promise as an athlete. Like, how do people notice? And he later moved to Phoenix, Arizona, and he was an active member of the Central's high school swim team. So yeah, people really found out a lot of things about this guy. But of course, unfortunately, he is dead now. It's been about a month already since that. He died on the 11th of January at 27 years old. So yeah, rest in peace to the Goon Lord, bro. It's a really tragic Goonicide. But yeah, this is officially the term now for an event like this. So a lot of people have been referring to others as like, in like the Goonicide, kind of term. It's really just a new sort of form of internet slang now, which is honestly like, it's one of the best things I've ever heard in my life, bro. Like, this whole thing is just genius. But I just want to talk about the meme, bro. I mean, it's an absolutely insane story, and the meme is just it's got infinite use, bro. Like, it's gonna live on forever. That's what I'm telling you right now. Anyways, next up, man, I want to talk about the Donald Trump inauguration. Now, of course, a couple weeks ago at this point, I think it was like January 16th, Donald Trump, officially became president for the second time, which is special because it's actually only the second time in history that someone has gotten president in non-consecutive terms. The first time was Grover Cleveland in the late 1800s. So yeah, what I mean by that is basically like they are president once, and then they aren't for a term or multiple terms, and then they are president again. So like that only happened twice. Usually, people will only just go once or just and then stop, or just go once and then of course run again and then win once more and then have two terms at the same time. It's never happened before that someone wins and then loses, then wins again, except for Grover Cleveland in the 1800s and to Donald Trump now. So a very rare event. But yeah, the inauguration was kind of crazy. I watched it live as well. I mean, I was at work for the first speech because he did like a speech in like the big room where the inauguration was held, and then he also went down to do a speech with like the folks that were in the White House, I think it was. So I watched the second one. It was crazy. I mean, he was just talking about a bunch of nonsense. It was funny though. But the most funny thing I thought about this whole thing was that in the room itself, where he actually was inaugurated, it's not even funny. It's crazy. Like in that room, there was a net worth of over 1 trillion. Okay, I mean, you had Elon Musk, you had Mark Zuckerberg, you had Jeff Bezos, and a bunch of other people too. You even had Tim Cook, I think. In that whole room, there was people standing there. That whole room had a net worth of more than $1 trillion, bro. Like it's kind of insane to think about. I don't know if that's like the highest valued room ever. If there's ever been like a bigger like link up of people that had more money than that. But it was crazy, bro. I mean, over $1 trillion in one room, like in one picture. Because there was like a picture, of course, that Bezos and Musk and Zuckerberg were standing together. Like you could just take a picture of a few people, and that picture, if you look at the net worth, it's over 1 trillion. I thought it was kind of crazy. But anyways, the inauguration was kind of wild. For that reason too. But also it was just the speeches were kind of crazy. Also very long. I mean, he was just kept on yapping and yapping, bro. But that's a great thing about him, though. He can just keep talking about random bullshit. And it's just funny to listen to. So yeah, we're about almost a month deep into his presidency now, his second term. Also, once again, we're gonna talk about Super Bowl again. He actually went to Super Bowl yesterday as well. And funny thing is, it's actually the first time that a sitting president has went to the Super Bowl, which I thought was insane. Like I really did not think that at all. I thought it would have happened like more often, but it's literally the first time that a sitting president has went to the Super Bowl in all this time, like 60 years almost. No president has ever been there before. So making history once more. So yeah, I haven't really been keeping up too much with what he's been doing. I mean, I saw a bunch of stuff float around, but I haven't really dug deep into it. I know that he signed a bunch of bills. I mean, basically, he reversed a bunch of Biden stuff as well, which also was kind of wild. I mean, we also had Biden, of course, on the last day. He also pardoned a lot of his family, like a couple hours before he lost the presidency, which was kind of wild. Yeah, then of course we had the iconic shot of Trump and Vance and their wives waving goodbye to Biden and Kamala, walking to the helicopter to take off, to leave the place. So it was a wild event. It was really nice to watch. Honestly, it was a pretty good inauguration. It was really funny to see. I definitely enjoyed watching it, at least the part that I did see. So yeah, basically that's all really for that. I mean, what has Trump done so far? I honestly, I'm not really sure. Like, I do know a lot about a couple things. I mean, I know about the immigration stuff. Like I said, I haven't really been following it that deeply, but I know he's been having a bunch of beef with the immigration things with different countries as well. Like Colombia, he had like a whole thing with Colombia where Colombia didn't want to take like 200 immigrants back. Like basically, Trump sent like a plane with like 200 people back to Colombia because they were like from Colombia, those immigrants. And Colombia was like, well, we're not taking this. Get the fuck out of here. So they had to turn the plane back around. And Trump was not happy about that. So he instantly put like tariffs on Colombia, like 200% or something. Or like, no, 20%, not 200. Like 20% tariffs on Colombia, and they instantly folded, bro. They instantly folded. They were like, okay, fine, we'll take the plane, bro. Just bring the immigrants in. We're more than happy to take it. So Trump has really been taking tariffs, seriously. Also with Canada and Mexico, which I'm not even sure why he did that. I mean, I think Mexico is also just about the immigrants as well, but it's also because of terrorists. Because now he officially labeled the cartel as a criminal organization thing or a terrorist organization. So those things are going to be taken a lot more serious now. And also on the Mexican side as well, he's like, really pushing the Mexicans to, work on that harder. Because, I mean, the cartels are a huge problem, of course. A lot of criminal activity going on that now is officially labeled as a terrorist organization, pretty sure. So it's going to be cracked down on harder. I mean, of course, if they can weed it out, it's going to be great for the world, and especially for Mexico, because I mean, that's really Mexico is not really the best country to go to, not the safest either. Um, so we're gonna see how that goes. For the rest, like I said, I haven't really been following it that closely. I mean, I've seen you've done some good things. One thing that I'm really excited about for Trump, that he made a post about a few days ago, he's banning paper straws. Okay, he's bringing back plastic straws. He said paper straws are ridiculous, and he's reverting it. Which, I mean, great for him. Although I'm in Europe, so I don't really have anything to say with that. So if he can bring that to Europe too, I don't know how much influence he has. Maybe he can talk to my own politicians and be like, "Yo, we gotta ban those paper straws worldwide," because paper straws are the worst thing ever, bro. When you have like a milkshake or something, and you have like a paper straw, like half the time, it's so annoying to use. Like plastic straws are like far, far, far superior. Um, you know. So I'm really glad that he's bringing that back in the U.S., even though I don't live there. Like if he can bring it back to EU too, that'd be great. But yeah, I thought it was funny as well. He takes the most random things and just turns them into like this big thing, like as if like paper straws like the end of the world. He's like, bro, we gotta bring back plastic straws, and he did do it. So that's great for him, because they're trash world. I mean, these paper straws are fucking horrible. Me and my family hate them. So hopefully his influence spreads across nations, and hopefully we can get plastic straws back as well, because sometimes when we're on vacation, actually, we do get a location that still has plastic straws, which is then like the best thing ever. I'm like, holy shit, this is I've missed this so much. Yeah, here in the Netherlands and most other places, it's just paper now, which is complete ass, bro. Like it's terrible. So yeah, Trump has been doing some good things. Also, yeah, some controversy as well, which is of course to expect. But he hasn't been doing anything that bad. And of course, we also have Elon Musk now, which a lot of people have been calling President Musk now. Because people think that he's like pulling the strings behind the scenes. Honestly, I think people are kind of, just kind of bitching about it, like kind of whining. Like it's not that deep. Elon Musk is, of course, completely separate from Trump in that matter. Like it's not like there's actually a President Musk. Okay, like I don't know why people get that idea. Of course, Trump is just his own man. He's the president. Okay, like Musk is, of course, working on the Doge department, which is like the Department of Government Efficiency, and he's cracking down on a lot of different things. Well, apparently the money from the US is like going to all sorts of like weird places, and they're spending a lot of money on weird things that are not really relevant to the country at all. So he's just kind of cracking down on that, like seeing like where does this money go to, and why do we spend it there, and how can we use it in a better way. And of course also Trump also paused like every like US like things for like 90 days. I'm not sure how you call it, but like he basically just paused all the outgoing payments for like 90 days so they can like really like look at the inventory and see like where do we send money to, what should we stop, what should we continue, where should we spend the money elsewhere. So a lot of people like don't have any money right now, because like he stopped like funding for a lot of things for like 90 days. So people are kind of like mad about that as well. I mean, yeah, he could have let it go for another 90 days. I mean, really though, because some people like get like I think funding for their companies or something, or like just personal funding because they can't work or something. I'm pretty sure like all of that is currently paused. I'm not exactly sure what's paused, but I think it was like something along the lines of that as well. Just a bunch of other things as well, though. But like, some of those things were like for actual people, which is currently just paused. Some people are not getting money, as far as I know. That's what I saw on Twitter. So he could have let it run through a little more and just like did the inventory and see whatever they were spending on while still paying out some people, because now there's a lot of people without money. So it's kind of sad, but hopefully the 9 days are over soon for them, and they can just get their money again and just live more comfortably. But yeah, they're just looking at that right now, as of course with Elon Musk as well, the Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, cracking down on a lot of things. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see, and I like the progress so far on that. Of course, I'm not an American citizen, so it's not really that relevant to me, but I still like seeing about it and just reading up about it, because it's definitely interesting. And it's going to be lovely to see how that country ends up in 4 years, and if it's going to actually take a detour, because a lot of people are saying like, bro, Trump is diabolical, like this is going to go down a wild path. But I don't really see it, bro. I don't really see the hate and the fear. I think he's doing a decent job so far, and hopefully Elon Musk continues to do so as well. And yeah, we'll see how efficient the government is in 4 years then, and what really has happened, because it's hard to say. Of course, we're 1 month in. You can't really say anything's fucked up or not. So we're gonna really have to wait until the end of the term till we really discuss that. Whatever was good and whatever was bad. Of course, when it comes to the topic of Elon Musk as well, during the inauguration, he did some wild things. Also going back to Kanye West. I mean, Elon Musk did a Nazi salute, pretty much. I mean, he said it was like the Roman salute, but it was weird, bro. It was weird, and he did not once. He did it actually twice. I mean, people already forgot about it by now at this point. But Kanye West did post about it a couple days ago as well. He was saying like that Elon Musk was also like a Nazi, and that Elon was like a fake Nazi or something. He was the real deal, some crazy shit like that. So that was also just kind of wild. So Elon Musk did like a speech, and he basically just did like the Nazi salute for some reason, which looked really weird. But apparently it was supposed to be a Roman salute, but he did it a very odd way, bro. And I don't even know why he did a Roman salute, which also it looks really similar to the Nazi one. But yeah, that was just a huge drama for like a week or something. The people were like going crazy and like, oh my god, like this is what we voted for. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what that was all about. Really goofy, but I kind of flew by already at this point. But it was still really weird though. Either way though, I'm kind of surprised at how Elon Musk is like managing all this stuff, because of course he still owns Tesla, he owns SpaceX, he also owns X's Twitter. Now he's also doing the Doge on the side. I mean, like, how does this guy even have time, bro? How does he manage all these things? And how does he manage to keep getting richer and richer? Like, I thought Elon Musk went kind of broke after buying Twitter, but no, he's just getting richer and richer. Like, I don't know how he does it, especially with all these different side hustles that he's gonna have to spend a lot of time on. I don't know how he does it, bro, but respect for him for that, of course. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how these 4 years unfold. For at this moment, I don't see anything bad yet, so it's really just waiting on that. Seeing how that all ends. Let me see. Did I have anything else to talk about? Oh yeah, of course. When we're speaking about the Donald Trump presidency, the first thing that really happened was. I want to say one more thing. Of course, Donald Trump has also been busy with the Gaza thing and the wars. Now, he did say before he was going to solve the Ukraine and Russia war in 24 hours. It's been about a month. I mean, I'm waiting, bro. The clock is ticking, Trump. You're way overdue, bro. I know he's working on that on the side, but I mean, he just said 24 hours though. But I mean, I think everyone knows that was an unrealistic standard. Either way, he did already solve the Gaza thing before he even became president. Like, it literally ended like 2 days before his inauguration or something. The whole war was like a peace treaty made. And Hamas said it was like basically because of Trump that they did it. So yeah, great thing on Trump. He even did that before he even became president. So that's kind of funny. I mean, he's been doing a couple things these past couple months without even being president. So it's kind of cool that he managed to pull through on those things, even despite his presidency not even being there yet at the time. But yeah, he did solve Gaza before he even became president, and now there's a bunch of drama with that as well, because apparently he wants to take over the Gaza Strip. But the war is over though, so that's great. But now he wants to take over the Gaza Strip and like put Americans there or something. I mean, how that's all going to unfold, we're going to have to see. But that's kind of a wild plan though. But yeah, now they're all working on rebuilding Gaza and just the whole of Palestine. So that's good that it's officially over then for now, that whole war. Thanks to Trump, by the way. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what his plans for that are. And of course, he also had like plans with Greenland and also like the Panama Canal or some shit, and also the Gulf of Mexico, which is now called the Gulf of America. He's doing some wild things, bro. Like he really is doing some wild things. But yeah, that's what I just want to say on that. Like I said, the Gaza thing. Let's see what he does on that. I mean, if he's really gonna export all the people out of there and just place Americans there, that's kind of weird. But we'll see what he does with that. But yeah, I think he's been doing a good job so far with that whole situation. I mean, he ended the war, so that's of course great. That's what I want to see the most. So that's good. Anyways, moving on. I want to talk about the TikTok ban, which also kind of ties into the presidency, because of course TikTok actually got banned like 2 days before the inauguration, I think, before Donald Trump became president. And the funny thing is that Trump was actually the one that like initiated this whole conversation of a TikTok ban back in like 2020 or something. He really wanted TikTok banned. And now, like 4 years later, we finally got a TikTok ban in the U.S. And under the Biden administration, of course. And then on the TikTok page, when it said like TikTok's currently not available in the U.S., we were trying to work with President-elect Trump to come to an agreement. So it's basically funny that he started this whole thing like a couple years ago to get it banned. Now, years later, Biden got it officially banned, and then Donald Trump basically just solved it within like a day. All right, like I think he wasn't even president yet, and he already like got it unbanned. I don't know how that worked, but it was banned for like 12 hours or something, and then it was already back. Like they were like, oh, thanks to Donald Trump, we actually got TikTok unbanned. So thanks Donald Trump, you got like the notification whenever you open the app. So that's kind of funny how he just basically he got TikTok banned. Like he started that 4 years ago, the whole conversation of getting TikTok banned, and now 4 years later, Biden actually got it banned, and then Trump got it unbanned within like 12 hours. Like what the fuck was the point? So yeah, TikTok is staying for now in the US. But the funny thing as well was whenever TikTok got banned, a lot of people moved to this Chinese app called Red Note, which, I mean, the whole point of getting TikTok banned was because it was owned by the Chinese government, or like a Chinese company, I mean. And, they're worried about, TikTok, taking information and just spying on people. But then people downloaded Red Note, which is literally owned by the government. Not just some company in China, but literally the Chinese government, I'm pretty sure. So a lot of people went there and said it was basically Chinese TikTok. But the thing is, of course, if you guys know how China is, there's a lot of censorship on there, okay? I mean, TikTok is very free of speech, at least most things. I mean, it's also very LGBTQ friendly and stuff. Red Note in China is not all that, okay? Like, a lot of people were on there, and a lot of Chinese people were just telling them, go away. We don't want your American bullshit. Just get the fuck out of here. Like, they don't want to see gay flags, right? They don't want to see transgenders and stuff. Like, they're really not about that business. And that's really, like, heavily censored as well. And, like, Japan, of course. I mean, not Japan. I mean, China. I misspoke there. In China, of course, there's a lot of, censorship. Also around certain topics. I mean, if you're going to talk about the Times Square on Red Note, you're going to get banned. or some other stuff. So, that was kind of wild. A lot of people moved on to Red Note. Now no one uses it anymore, I think. It already, like, flew over because TikTok got unbanned in, like, a day. So everyone just went back there. But, yeah, Red Note was kind of hype for, like, a day. And then it just ended because, TikTok was already back. But it was kind of funny to see everyone migrate to Red Note. And some Chinese people were, like, welcoming. Like, oh, my God, what's up, America? Welcome to Red Note. But a lot of people were also very negative. Of course, a lot of people got banned. Like I said, they don't want to see that stuff, bro. Like, China is very anti-LGBTQ and stuff, and all this anti-woke stuff. And of course, a lot of the TikTok population, the TikTok users, I should say, are pretty, like, LGBTQ and, like, woke related. So yeah, China didn't want any of that. So a lot of people got banned. There was a lot of controversy on that as well. Like, a lot of users on Red Note, just, average Chinese people use that. They just use it every day. Like people use TikTok, they use Red Note, and then they just have a normal app for years, and they just randomly pull up and see all these Americans doing weird shit. A lot of users were not happy about that, bro. So at least glad for them that it's over now, and that it's just normal again. At least I think most people went off it. So now TikTok is back, of course. So that's great for people that love to use that app. And yeah, I thought it was kind of funny as well, tying it to Trump, of course, because he was the one that initiated that ban a couple years ago. Now it actually got banned, and then he himself got it unbanned in 12 hours. Like, I don't know what the fuck the point of that whole thing was, but we'll see what the future of TikTok beholds, and how that moves forward. Hopefully it stays unbanned then, if people really like it that much. And yeah, I don't think of anything else more to talk about in this episode. I said about everything I wanted to say. Of course, some wild stuff that went on this month, like the Kanye West thing, which went on to a couple days ago. Of course, Superbowl was great. A bunch of good stuff happened this month. So shout out to everyone for listening, of course, as always. And I'll be back next month then with a new episode. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. That's all I really have to say. And see ya.